As they say, time flies, and there's no question that 24 years kind of went by quick. Although there's been some long years, but it's been a great ride where I hope the best yet to come. Well, I've got a lot of motivation this year, just we haven't really finished the season like we'd like to the last 2 years, and I think there's a lot of motivation, and I got an experienced team for the first time. So got a lot of good reasons this year with the veterans. We have 7 of them, 6 of them are juniors and seniors, which hasn't happened for a while, and 1 sophomore that will be playing a lot, I think, and Xavier Tillman, and maybe as important as anything is those 5 freshmen and a couple of redshirt freshmen, I think are going to bring a lot of excitement and enthusiasm. They're athletic. We got guys that can shoot it. We got length. Got a little bit of everything in that freshman class. I've got McQuaid and Josh have been unbelievable. I mean, they've been in there morning, noon, and night. But the surprise and the good things are when you get a Nick Ward spending a ton of time in the gym this summer, Xavier Tillman spending a ton of time in the gym this summer, Kyle Arntz getting healthier, watching Cassius grow, and then those freshmen follow. They look at it at, this is the norm. This is what you do at Michigan State. And that's the advantage of veterans and upperclassmen. Our schedule has always been really good, but I must admit, when you have years, certain years, it gets tougher and tougher. And I think 3 of the last 5 years, we've opened up with the #1 team in the country. We have a lot of road games or neutral site games in those 5 or 6 killer games early, and that's gonna give us a good chance to figure out where we are. Sometimes you have to figure that out with a win, and sometimes you have to figure that out with a loss, and we've done it both ways. So I'm anxious to see how we'll do when we play one of those top teams in Kansas on opening night.
Growing up in the South, there was just a lot of everything going on. There was either a festival or like a party, and there's always school activities to do. The heat is obviously a really, really big thing. We have amazing food down there, and it's just like a sense of home and comfort. I was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. It's like a part of me deep down. We have the French Quarter, the Superdome, the Saints, and great food, so I am very proud to be from there.
What's special about New Orleans is its culture. It has a lot of tradition, and we always have something to do, whether it's Jazz Fest, Mardi Gras. There's just a lot going on all the time, so it makes it a fun place to live.
Relief is finally arriving here on large National Guard or Army vehicles, a very large convoy, as far back as we can see around the Superdome here. And we're told these are boxes of food being brought into the area. The convoy with relief supplies has arrived.
August 29th, 2005, Katrina hit. I was 5 years old, and we had to evacuate to Baton Rouge. I remember going, like it was my dad's weekend because my parents were divorced at the time, so I was with him that weekend, and he lives in Baton Rouge, which is an hour away from New Orleans, so it really didn't dawn on me like, wow, something's going on back home where my mom and grandmother was, until my mom came up to Baton Rouge as well, and I was like, why is she here? And then she was like, there's like a storm going on, and we had to evacuate and leave there for a little while, so then we stayed in Baton Rouge for that year.
This traumatic event happened all of a sudden. I wasn't prepared for such a tragic situation there, and which made me very uncomfortable because I had no choice to leave New Orleans. I had to go find another place to live for me and the girls. The floodwaters rose all the way to the roof, and everything was damaged. It was total loss.
It was totally gutted. It was flooded up to, I think they said 10 feet of water inside of it. The levees, because we lived by the levees at the time, and it completely broke, and our hot tub pool was filled, everything was gone, so we lost the house completely. I remember I had like a teddy bear that I loved like a lot, and I didn't get to take him with me. He got left in the house.
We had no place to live. We were practically homeless at that point, so we were at the mercy of others, and we were just grateful that, you know, we were blessed with an opportunity to have a place to live and rebuild.
Taryn will inbound to the left sideline near the Spartan bench. 3.6 seconds left, 2 to tie, 3 to win. McCutcheon to inbound. Gotta hurry here. Gets it to Reimer at the top. She gets it stripped. She's on the deck. McCutcheon heaves. It's over. It came up short, and a hard-fought second round game comes to a close, and the tournament's longest game has finally come to an end after 4.
Losing in that close of a game, for it to come down to that was just, it was heartbreaking.
To go through a 4 overtime game, I mean, it's exhausting. And, you know, to come out on, you know, the end we don't want to, and the loss, that's even more frustrating. I feel like we have a lot of stuff to prove this year. Last year, you know, we lost a lot of close games because we weren't mentally and physically tough like we should be. Going into this year, I think if we instill that, you know, next play, or, you know, when you're fatigued, push through, we got each other's back, we continue to talk, I think that's just going to make those games that we didn't get last year, like close points, we're going to get them this year because we've been in those situations. And now that we've prepared ourselves tougher mentally and physically, I feel like we're going to be able to come out on top of those games.
Everybody's more focused, and it makes for a more intense practice or workout or whatever we're doing. We've done a good job of not only doing that in practice, but bringing that everywhere. I mean, it can go to lifts, it can be in recruiting, it can be in anything. We've been more focused, and we've done a really good job in every aspect of just being more intense.
I expect us to be tough, you know, mentally and physically tough. I expect us to have great unity and chemistry. I expect us to, you know, play with a lot of passion and purpose for sure.
This team is a lot different than the teams I've worked with in the past, in a sense that we are talking a lot more already, and I feel like defensively we've already made a big stress on that part of the basketball floor. I feel like we have a special group this year.
Nia Gross, 6'3" freshman out of New Orleans, Louisiana, nationally ranked as the number 35 overall recruit, hitting just under 400. Target. Gross able to tuck that ball down inside once again.
Third set, rather. Serve on the way. Played in the middle. Quick in the middle. Roof by Nia Gross.
Nia Gross has just been physically dominating in the middle on both sides of the ball, unstoppable.
I made sure that they were in activities. When we were in Baton Rouge, and we evacuated to Baton Rouge, when we were in Baton Rouge for that year, she played soccer, she was in acting, so I engaged them into a lot of different activities just to keep her spirits up and to keep them focused.
I tried like a lot of different sports. I did swimming, basketball, soccer, gymnastics, and all those were like, no, I'm not doing that. And then my mom introduced me to volleyball, and I think I did fall in love with her. Once I saw how much she loved it and loved watching me play, I was like, I could do it. And then I actually turned out to really like it. So I felt like that was a good sport for me to continue to progress in.
Her greatest strength is her aggression. I always preach, be aggressive. She's an aggressive person in terms of don't back down for any particular person or team. Just give it your all and be your best. So making sure that you be aggressive.
I knew I wanted to play, but I didn't know that I could be at such a high level. I do feel like I take a leadership role and I'm ready for that, although I am a freshman, but the team has been great helping me get to where I am right now.
I feel that Katrina set the ground and the foundation for her to see struggle, for her to focus on overcoming struggle, and she saw the hard work that it took to rebuild our life.
Although I was young, I had to mature fast because I feel like there wasn't any time for me to be crying, and we had so much other things going on. So I feel like that totally has shaped my character today.
I see her play now. It means a lot. It just makes me feel that all of that hard work that was put into it, she went from playing in middle school to a club to high school. So it was a build-up, and it's just amazing to see her play now. It's fun. She's fun to watch. Totally grown in her game, and her volleyball IQ is increasing each game.
How do you lose track of number 17 in green? She was almost undefended there.
Her personality is very consistent. Just what you see on the court is what she is at home. She's very fun-loving. She's a jovial person. She enjoys having fun, and so I always explain that it's all about having fun. It's not just about the game. Wins and losses are important, but you also want to have fun. So enjoy yourself while you're out there.
Okay, emphasis today is going to be bigs. Whenever you're in that high post action, okay, so obviously you have your drives and all that, but once you set that screen, you got to go hard.
I always say you can't be a leader of many if you're not a leader of one first. So all three of those kids lead themselves individually extremely, extremely well. And I think it has to start there for people to recognize and appreciate and respect. You get that street cred by being in the trenches, right? And doing what you're supposed to and doing it really, really well. All three of those kids have done that. All three of them are tremendous workers. So they're just great kids and blessings, and it makes sense that they were voted our captains.
To be a 3-year captain, it's amazing. My teammates see, something in me, and I always tried to lead by example, and it means a lot that they have a trust in me and have voted me to be a captain. It's really an amazing experience. I love this team, and I think we're really going to do big things this year.
It means a lot to me to be a captain. For me, it means that my teammates and the coaching staff really trusted me and the ability to lead on and off the court.
Well, the biggest difference I think this year's team is I think that we're connecting a lot better on and off the court. This summer I felt like we were a little bit closer as a team, and it's been translating on the court.
Yes, communication, talking. So really emphasize that, all right? We seem a little quiet today, all right? So I can already tell a little bit our energy. Let's pick that up, all right? Communication, okay, make sure we're talking.
Coach always puts it in this way. We go into gyms and we play for our big crowds, and we're not going to be able to hear each other. So to be able to communicate down there now, it's just going to lead into the games and make everything easier. And especially for the freshmen, when we go to places like Michigan or we go to Nebraska, I mean, they have huge crowds when we play there. You're going to get rattled. You're not going to be able to hear, and instilling that communication now in practice is just going to make those times easier.
So she's driving, right? It's their help, but we want to sink and be open and be big.
Communication is a big thing that Coach emphasizes, and just to play together and play every practice like it's a game, because coming in November 1st, where we have our first home game, how hard we go in practice now, the game should be very easy.
I've never had a great team that didn't communicate on the court, and I think it has to start there, early, loud, and often. I mean, you can't talk early enough. You can always, be loud, and you can always say it a lot of different ways and a lot of different times.
Because then we got to sink and fill. Yep. Yep. Here we go.
Our mentality is everyone's coming after us. We're We're one of the best teams in the Big Ten this year, I believe, so we have a target on our back, and we just have to play with each other throughout the whole season.
This team, I just feel like it's different. It's different this year. The whole vibe, it's going to be surprising to a lot of people.
Going into the summer, losing Miles and Tom, of course, you know, probably the two most vocal ones on the team. And, you know, I just took upon myself to, like, be more vocal because I felt like, you know, it's my turn to step into that role and try and talk more, you know, help the freshmen out more, not just on the court but off the court too, you know, let them know that I'll be there for them whenever. So, you know, there's just different things that go into being a captain.
Don't stop, come on, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, Mark, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, come on, don't stop.
I feel like, you know, this team we have coming in, you know, it's kind of a mixture, you know, of veterans and young players as well. It's a good mixture, and I feel like, you know, everybody has bought in and everybody's, you know, ready to, you know, to take on this season.
But I think we're focused on progressing and getting better every day. And practice, and even on off days, coming in and watching film and just trying to make each other better and hold each other accountable.
We understand, you know, what it's like, you know, what's it going to be like, how it is on the road, and different things like that. I think the best way to go about it is just to go in every day and treat every day like, you know, it's a Champions Classic. Or treat every day like it's a Final Four. Treat every day like it's a, you know, a Big Ten championship or a national championship. You know, that way, once you get to those different games and different venues, it'll be just another day for you. So every day has to be a day where you know, you seize the day and just go in and give 110%. Therefore, you know, when you come in to those days, you know, it just be another day to you.
Every team's going to face adversity, and that's the true definition of a team, is how you respond when that happens. So, you know, just teaching the young guys, you know, when you're trying to get a bucket late in the game on the road in the Big Ten, you know, it's tough, and communication's key. When something good happens, you got to take advantage of that and build momentum off that. When things go bad, you got to regroup and come together, see what you did wrong and fix it, and then you got to come up with the win.
As Michigan State, you know, we recruit great guys, and, you know, we always, you know, find a way to just get along and just, you know, always be around each other and hang around each other, just because of the kind of guys that we are. And I think, you know, as the season progressed, that chemistry, just like we had it in the last two teams that I played on, it'll be just like that.
Our goals have always been big here, and coaches with a lot of passion, and he makes sure we know that. So we just try to strive for that every day.
You know, I feel like with Coach, he's just a guy that's always trying to, you know, get the most out of himself so he can get the most out of his players. And I think he's just getting smarter with the way he's coaching. And, you know, he's a Hall of Fame coach, so I think he's doing something right, you know, at the end of the day. But I feel like with Coach, he's just really progressed, you know, in his wisdom and, you know, the way he coaches, the way he teaches, but he's still Tom Izzo, and I think that's going to never change.
You've got, you know, the body and the rest and all kinds of things training-wise that we think about, and one area that I think is a little underdeveloped is the brain and training patterns of that, and that's something that they've really got the science going on, and there's a lot of validity to it, and we thought it'd be a good thing to try out.
You try to move up levels, so you start off with 2 pucks, you go up to 3 pucks, 4 pucks, and basically, like, as those levels go on, there's also other things in there that make it more difficult, but in order to move on, you need to get, it goes by percentages, and you need to get 3 in a row to move up a percentage. You have to get to 100.
It actually does help, you know, when reading a play coming towards you. You kind of, you know, you want to give a quick head check and see where, kind of scan the ice, see where guys are, but it's a little bit easier working those peripheral vision, so I think that definitely helps.
Quicker reaction times, being able to use your peripheral vision better, seeing the ice better, just stuff like that to make you a better hockey player, because obviously the game's coming at you fast, and to make plays quick and the right plays quick, the neurotrainer is supposed to help translate into the games.
Our guys are doing it 3 times a week, and you know, we've assessed them a couple of different times, and they're improving in some areas. And I think they're starting to see the differences, which is the important thing, because they, you know, to create a new habit or to learn something, you need that good feedback to happen. So the guys have bought in; they've done a great job.
It's awesome that they give us a tool to improve our game in a way that sort of is outside of the box that we haven't really done before, and I think a lot of guys are really buying into it, and you can see it on the ice. It's not something that you sort of notice right away, but over time I think it'll help us a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. It's unique. You know, not a lot of schools do this, so for us to, you know, it could be something that gives, maybe down the road gives us a little bit of an edge, you know, who knows. But it's definitely nice to be able to have those resources available to you.
To be able to have 3, 4, 5 of them in the locker room at all times is just amazing to have, and you know, you get to use them. It's just another resource that we get here that, you know, other teams don't get, so we just try to use it as best as we can, and I think it's been helping a lot so far.
One of our goals when you know, we came here was to make this a place where elite players want to come and train and get ready. And the guys' goal when they come here, you know, obviously there's the education aspect to it, but these guys also want to play in the NHL. And every advantage we can have, again, whether it's sleep science or mental training or you know, hitting the weight room and rest and sleep, just teaching guys about those aspects of being a really good professional and hopefully making them better hockey players. And I think this is an aspect to it that's been very interesting for us, and I think it's paid some dividends.